G'day swingers and good morning. It's the 4th of October, Wednesday. We have a very special guest this morning who's come down from Queensland. It's our second female guest. We call it Queensland Crime and Time. So it's going to be an interesting episode. I'm excited, swingers. Let's get into it. G'day swingers again for the second time. We have our special guest today from Queensland. But before we get into that, I have to say thank you very much for this delicious coffee. The Bite Cafe, Monash Road at Gladesville. Great food, great coffee, great service. Kathy, thanks very much. We really appreciate it. They've been big supporters of the show and we're really grateful. Righto! Without further ado, as I usually say, we're going to get stuck into it. As I said, it's Queensland Crime and Time today, and we have a guest that's come down from Queensland, which we're very grateful, and we're going to introduce Blondie. Good morning and welcome to the show, Blondie.
Thank you for having me.
No worries at all. We'll get started like we usually do, and what I usually do is we a bit about your life and your childhood or whatever, and then we'll climb up to where maybe you've gone wrong in life, as we all have, and I make mistakes on a daily basis, and we'll talk a bit about that and a little bit of drugs, a little bit of fun here, swingers, too, today. So, Blondie, in your own words, in your own time, dive into it, mate. Tell us a bit about yourself.
Oh, well, I don't know where to start.
Start anywhere. You can start it with school, high school, whatever you're happy with. And then we'll lead up to, say, 2015.
How long is the interview thing again?
We've got a bit hour, a bit over an hour.
We're going to do a mini-series, I think. About 5 episodes.
Try and sum it up if we can.
Look, I actually didn't touch drugs until I was 35.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. That's interesting.
Had 2 kids young, and parents were on drugs when I was younger, so never wanted to touch them. Kids left home, empty nest syndrome. I should have bought a Corvette. Instead I bought an ounce.
Yeah.
Turns out that's illegal.
Yeah, that's right.
Most people were out getting pedicures and their hair dyed and stuff, going through those mid-30s crises.
Yeah.
And I was out trying to be two-packed.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how that went down. But I don't know. I don't even think that I was in the drug scene, to be honest.
Yeah.
I really don't.
You're from a pretty stable family life, mate, or?
No.
Yeah, yeah. So
when you grow up with a mechanic,
yeah,
you know how to fix a car.
Yeah,
When you grow up with drug dealers.
Yeah, right.
What's their family knowledge?
Yeah, fair enough, yeah.
I think it desensitizes you.
Yeah.
The upbringing, which makes it then not as severe when you do slip into it at some stage.
Yeah, right. How was school? Were you all right at school, or did you leave early? What happened?
I left early. Actually, funny story. I left early, very early in high school.
Yep.
Got into a bit of trouble. Got expelled from 12 schools.
12? Fucking hell.
I was set up. I was definitely framed.
12 schools. All in Queensland? You're all based in Queensland?
No, 3 in Melbourne.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
That was definitely a setup.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Because I know your dad was in Melbourne for quite a few years. Yeah.
I grew up my early years in Melbourne with my dad.
Yep.
And his friends who were bikies. And when you grow up, you don't know any different. So I remember in grade 2, I was brushing my teacher's hair because she used to get all the kids and have little talks with them and stuff. Obviously, ones that she knew were probably maybe having problems at home or something, or I don't know.
Yeah, right.
And I was one of them, and I told her who my dad was, and she said, "Now, honey, most children make up stories their father's an astronaut."
Yeah, right. Yeah,
you don't need to pretend that he's a criminal. And
I'm not pretending. Yeah.
I go, what's wrong with being a criminal?
Yeah, yeah.
He makes an income.
Yeah.
My mum was on The Price Was Right.
Oh, was she? Yeah.
She won, and they said, and what does your husband do?
Was that Burjo?
Yeah.
I remember Burjo.
1984.
Yeah.
And I remember watching it on TV, and he goes, what does your husband do? And she goes, oh, he works.
Yeah, he works. Yeah,
He works.
yeah, that's right.
So
We got some cash coming in. Yeah,
Yeah. We're living it up.
That's the main thing. Yeah.
So I guess I never really understood at a young age
Yep.
that anything was wrong.
Yeah.
Going to Pentridge to visit your father is just a weekend occurrence.
Yeah. Right.
And when he gets out, if anyone hasn't looked after me properly, they'll
get a call. Yeah.
I was probably really, really young, and I was minded by one of my mum's friends who was allegedly a nurse, whatever, and I fell off the monkey bars at her house and broke my wrist. So
I used to love the fucking monkey bars, actually. They were great. Yeah.
If there was anything that could go wrong,
it
was me doing it.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Broke my wrist, and she freaked out and gave me sleeping pills because she didn't want to have to send me home to my father with a broken wrist screaming.
Oh, really? So she zonked you? Yeah.
Zonked me for days.
So you lived with your dad most of the time, and your mum.
So
relationships between the two dodgy or
the early years with Dad, and her, and he was very. And again, you don't know that it's not normal until you get older, and you're like,
Yeah.
So dads don't go downstairs and come up covered in blood for dinner, like.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Fuck.
And jump in the car to go to preschool, and there's blood splatter all over the roof of the car.
Yeah, fuck.
Oh, it doesn't happen in your car.
Yeah, no, yeah. There's a lot of drama that.
But if you find a figure and there's a ring on it, you can keep it. You just desensitise. You don't know. So Mum obviously wasn't desensitised. She was in a very volatile relationship with him, which was another thing that I couldn't understand. Because just stop being so stupid, woman.
Yeah.
Stop being so erratic.
Yeah.
But obviously, drugs, paranoia, intensity, common occurrences that would happen, and I'd be like, "Oh, can you two just stop it?"
Yeah.
And so then they would feel guilty, and Mum would buy me a dollhouse, and Dad would buy me another dollhouse, and then Mum would buy me the Barbie doll dream house.
So we're outdoing each other here and all that shit.
And then Dad would buy me a cubby house.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So
till you end up with a small 4-bedroom. Yeah, right. Yeah.
So they were, I guess, on the more lucrative side of the drug scene.
Yep.
With a lot of money.
Yeah.
At the time. Mum was a very attractive woman, very attractive. And I look like my dad, so I'm going to say he's attractive.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But Mum was definitely a trophy wife.
Yeah, right.
She was a trophy wife, and she had a lot of influential partners over her.
Is she a good grandma today, sort of thing, or good grandparents?
She is mine.
Yeah, right.
So she's mine.
Okay.
She just, what is a good grandparent? What is a good grandma? You know what I mean? When you're a kid and you don't have kids, you judge everyone.
Yep.
When I have kids, I won't do that. And I can still remember giving my mum a hard time and saying, I'll never be like you. And then she goes...
Yeah.
She's got 4 kids to 4 different fathers. I've got 5 kids to 3 different fathers.
Yeah. 5 kids?
Yeah, but I got 2 to the same father. So, hey, I'm stepping up. Like, I'm progressing. I'm bringing the chain up. My dad's got 3 kids to 3 different mothers. So I'm actually an only child.
Yeah, right.
So,
fucking hell.
So, everyone's a judge of someone when you haven't experienced life yet.
Yep.
So is my mum a great mum? She's mine.
Yeah, right. Yeah, she's your mum.
She's eccentric. She does crazy things. And people go, did your mum just do that? Yes, she did. Shut up.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
And they go, I don't understand your father. You don't need to.
Yeah, that's right.
It's all right. I'm playing this Monopoly game. I'll work it out. And you just step away.
So it was Victoria and Queensland. You were sort of all over the shop in your childhood.
So Mum moved to Queensland to get away from Dad after she had an affair with an Italian. And my sister came out dark. And I had bluey-green eyes, blonde hair, fair skin. And out comes baby Missouri from the zoo. This little wog baby with brown curly hair and brown eyes. And sorry, honey, if you're listening, I love you.
Yeah.
But I grew up resenting her. I grew up really hating her. She was the reason my parents divorced. However, drugs, crazy shit, cheating. Hey, that was why they divorced. But as a kid, it was her.
Yeah.
So when we moved to Queensland, that was a really hard time for me.
When did you move to Queensland?
About 6 years old.
Yeah, okay, so it was a while ago,
Yeah. But I was the princess in Melbourne.
Yeah, right.
I actually thought I had magical powers. So for every boyfriend I ever dated, my father made me an asshole. He made me believe that I could have whatever I wanted and get whatever I wanted. And what do you mean, no? I don't know that word.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. And so, and again, he created a monster too.
How many schools? 12.
12 high schools, and about 10 primary schools.
Yeah.
My other sister, though, my older one, she'd probably take about 33.
Jesus! So it's basically what, just telling the teacher to get fucked, not playing the game, whatever.
I was framed.
Yeah, oh, of course, yeah.
No, it was alleged that I might have sold marijuana to one of the kids at school.
Yeah.
In several different schools.
That's hearsay. Yeah. 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 I was a shopper at school too, but yeah, I got lots of Saturday detentions and things like that, and suspended and things like that. But I wasn't kicked out. We were all over the shop too. But anyway, it's not about me. It's about you. So,
I actually taught my older kids when they were in high school.
Yep.
With Italian herbs and spices and some aluminium foil on the table.
Yep.
And I said, "What's going on here?" And they said, "Oh, we've got a cooking thing on at school." And I said, "Yep, I'm your mother."
Yeah.
Put it back on the table now.
Yeah, that costs.
Yeah, they couldn't get away with much, but they did. They did a good job on me too. They gave me a run for my money. No matter how high you set the bar, they'll always jump over it. Any child that you have in that age. But anyway, moved to Queensland. Back then, there was no such thing as domestic violence.
Yep, I know. Hey, yep.
So we lived in a refuge though, and Dad usually found every single refuge.
It was interesting back then because I've been through a bit of this myself. So it's interesting back then. It was like, you know, my husband come home, I'm talking 70s now, beat the shit out of his wife. You go to the police, they just like, go and sort it out. It's between, you know, broken nose, go and sort it out. It's a personal thing. It was, mate, you know, times have changed, thank God. But
I think for who my father was at that point, and how notorious he was.
Yep.
No, they weren't saying that to her. They were saying, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, right.
Just run.
Yeah,
You're going to die. People are going missing. You
Yeah.
can't go through this. And I didn't understand. I'm like, well, stop being a bitch.
Yeah, yeah.
And he'll stop hitting you.
Yeah.
And you stop being an asshole, and she'll stop being a bitch. I honestly, I think the only time I ever got angry with either one of them, and when they were fighting, is when my bike got pushed over in the middle of a fight.
Oh, really?
Otherwise,
yeah.
Mum, go pick your teeth up. They're in the bedroom there. I can see. There's a couple of teeth. Bloody hell. Dad, did you hit her again?
Yeah.
Next time, that is it. I will never speak to you again.
It is. It's bloody interesting from years ago. It's like, and now it's a huge thing, you know.
Well,
and it should be. It should be. It's a bloody terrible thing.
Well, now
domestic
it's
violence,
spoken about.
Yeah.
It's spoken about. So I think back then it wasn't spoken about. So as a kid, I can't remember anyone ever asking me. Mm-hmm. Or I don't think that I showed any signs. See, they go, "Oh, your child's hitting. Are you exposing your child to hitting at home?"
Yeah.
And you're like, "No, but should I?"
Yeah.
Like, if they're being naughty. I never showed signs of violence at home, at school. None of my reports, nothing. Yeah. There was only one significant report a teacher ever said about me, and that was in grade 2, is Linda refuses to ask for help.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, why is that a thing?
Yeah.
That means that I know everything. Like, duh.
Yeah, I'll help myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But obviously that was a thing that she picked up on, which years later would eventually be an issue because I don't ever ask for help, and apparently, you know, taking care of business yourself isn't a good thing. Yeah.
It's funny, everything gets normalised, and back at that time too, it's like, oh, this is the norm, you know. So what you're saying is you don't really know any better. It's like, why is this a big deal?
Yeah,
you know, sort of
and
thing.
then once he was released from prison, I was at school and I was rushed into the library, and all the lights turned off and locked in there, and I was like, what the hell's going on here? I'm getting blown up. Is there a terrorist? I didn't know what the hell.
Like an earthquake? What's going on? Yeah.
Later on, these people come in and they said, your dad has come here to see you. So you locked me in a library? Like, there's no custody orders.
So they think they're protecting you or something here.
Well, they would have been able to stop him.
Yeah, right.
And I was like, where is he? Let's go.
Yeah.
I'm going home with him.
Fucking hell.
But
how old were you? Primary school?
Oh, it would have been about 8 then. Maybe 9. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. But yeah, I was thinking, let's go home with him. And later on, my mother remarried a man up here, and he was an alcoholic. He's finally admitted it, thank God. And
this is your mum's second marriage, or whatever. Yeah.
Well, fifth
is
is
a
what
bunch.
I say.
Yeah.
There's 4 baby daddies, and this is her husband. This was her husband.
Yeah.
She's a very attractive woman.
Yeah,
she couldn't
she
help it.
sounds
She
it.
can't be on the market for too long.
Yeah, right.
You know,
yeah.
like, you know, you single woman like that, you've got them flocking, and they fucking flocked.
Yeah.
Anyway, he ended up, Dad did a settlement with Mum, divorce, blah, 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 and they bought a house together and everything else, and he turned into an alcoholic. It's absolutely fucking big when we were growing up. And he was physical towards me, a lot abusive. Probably because I had that attitude of, what do you mean no? You know, like I probably was the most defiant out of them all. And when he would do something that I would think was not fair towards us kids, I would be the one who would stick up for us all.
Yeah, right, yeah.
My older brother would go to sleep.
I did say it.
My
How many brothers and sisters? You got one brother?
3 brothers,
Yeah.
2 sisters.
Yeah, fuck.
But none of them are to the same parents.
Yeah, all mixed, yeah, all over. Yeah.
We're a mix.
Yeah.
We've got
I
Italian,
was going to say, for a
English.
sec, good Catholic family there. You know, most Catholics have only got like 5, 6, 7, you know.
Well, Mum was
brothers
from
and
a Catholic
sisters.
family. She's got 7.
Yep.
So then I got about 35 cousins on her side and
Yep.
half cousins and then step cousins, and goodness knows when we go to Christmas, no one's giving out presents, that's for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Not an hour.
Yeah, it's a hassle.
No
yeah.
wonder Dad had to become a drug dealer.
Fucking hell.
But anyway, so then, yeah, he was an arsehole. So he was really, really violent. I didn't want to be at home. And when you look at what my real father was doing,
Yep.
people's fingers were in the back seat of the car,
Yeah, right. Yeah.
and you didn't flinch. You were like, oh yeah, it's there.
It becomes, yeah, like we say, normalised. It becomes second nature sort of thing.
But then you see my stepfather with a drink in his hand, and you go hide because you know you're going to cop it any minute now. And you sleep in the cupboard or you sleep under a bed to try and
So
make
your
sure
dad
he
would
can't
go
find
off after a couple of Scoobies and, yeah.
My stepfather, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. You'd try and pretend to be asleep, and he'd wake you up to bash you.
Oh, yeah, that's so fucked.
Yeah. And, you know, there was a few moments there. But, you know, and my mum will say, oh, he wasn't that bad. He was good too.
Yep.
You know what? That is the exact responsibility that she will ever take, and it's okay. I'm okay with that.
He's good too, yeah.
It's okay. It's
Yeah.
okay if that's how you want to remember it, because, you know, no one really wants to be a shit parent or
No, they don't.
They don't want to believe that they were.
I think a lot of people regret it in their last days or later in life. Not all, but a lot of them look back and go, ah, fuck.
I think
you
she
know.
just changes the memory sometimes.
Yeah.
But, you know, in reality, she's gone from psychopathic drug dealer with multi-million dollar international connections
Yep.
to an alcoholic.
Yeah.
So to her,
Yeah.
she's downsized the fear factor.
Mate, the booze is full on, you know, and I've my biological father, he's an alcoholic, but it really fucks. It's like, you know, when you sort of look at it, and you know, and lots of people take drugs, it's like with pot or alcohol, I'd be leaning to the pot, you know what I mean? Like, because the booze really messes with your brain after long term. I've
And
got
you
a few
get it.
mates now that are just
If you
really
are
bad.
addicted to it, you just go to the street and get more. And it's
Yeah.
cheap.
Yeah, that's right.
Marijuana,
That's
you
right.
got to find someone.
Yeah, that's
You've
right.
got to do a side hustle.
Yeah.
You know, it's
yeah.
a bit of effort. But yeah, so but it's too much of it. But hey, look, that's probably another ust, isn't it? But
Well, let's fast forward. When you left school, what happened? What did you have? A couple of straighty jobs? What happened?
no, so it must have been about 11. Get real, come on. 11 or 12, and in and out of foster care, running away from home, you know, all the normal stuff. And
Yeah.
then eventually I got a bit bigger, taller, and got a bit more confidence, and, you know, doing the dishes. And he started drinking, and I thought, you fucker, come near me, and I'm going to put this right through you.
Wrap this plate around your head. Yeah.
No, the kitchen knife. No.
Oh,
not the plate.
okay.
No, that
We're
would
going
cause-
straight to the knives. Fuck the plates.
I would, yeah, I'd have to clean the
Way
fucking
past
plate
crockery.
Up. I would
Yeah.
have to clean the plate up.
Yeah.
I want no mess, no fuss, fast action, get
Yeah.
rid of it. No. But anyway, and so basically from that moment on, he was terrified of me.
Yeah, right.
I was like a 12-year-old kid with a knife. Like, come on, mate.
So you had a go? Did you cut the guy, or you sort of just did the old fuck off? Like,
I think I mind controlled him. That's
Yeah,
all
right.
mind control.
yeah.
I didn't actually cut him, but I gave him enough fear in his face that he thought, shit, she's going to get me. Because, you know, the problem is that men think that they're tougher and stronger than women, but us women know where they sleep.
Yeah, that's right. That's
And
very
at some
true.
point, they're going to rest.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Even the biggest crackhead on the bloody
Yep.
It's going to go to sleep.
With it though, with domestic violence though as well, like you're just sort of saying, like you're this small, you grow, and you grow up really quick. And all of a sudden, like, say it's with a son, he's this tall, and dad's 5'8", and before you know it, the son's 6'1", and dad's getting older, and the son or daughter is young and fit and strong, and then the cards turn.
With years of aggression.
Yeah, that's the thing, the cards turn.
And you know what? It does not matter about the size of the fighter, it's the fire in the heart.
Yeah. Not the size of the barrel, power of the shot. Yeah, exactly right. And what's in here and here is
I had
strength.
A lot in here and here.
Yep. Yeah, I bet. Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, pretty much from there, in and out of foster care.
Yep.
Foster care was shit back then, hence the redress, payouts, shut your mouth, don't say anything.
Yep.
It was hard. And again, it was, you know, you start to realise why people go from a shitty situation to a somewhat shitty situation and put up with it.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you've escalated and then you've regret. So it's okay. Well, he only hits me once, or he only hits me above the face, so it's okay. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Or below the face, whatever it is. But it is. That's how a human is programmed.
There is, yeah. And they're always saying it too, like if a lady's a victim or whatever, it's like, oh, he'll change, things will get better. It's not. It's a fucking snowball, and it just keeps building. Yeah. So it's fucking horrible. Domestic violence swings is fucking horrible. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But and foster carers too. Back then it was.
Absolutely.
There was absolutely no
the amount of child abuse or
there was no real
sexual and physical abuse was full on. Yeah.
There was no real investigation as to who they were before they had them. They had a spare room. They seemed nice. You got a kid.
That's right. It was more
you
like
want 10?
Cockroaches when you turn the lights on. Everyone scurries and tries to cover.
One time they drove me out to a foster home on a caravan thing on acreage shared with 4 other foster kids.
Yeah, right.
And it's like, do you know who I am? I'm not living in that.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, you are. Get in there. And then I went from multi-million-dollar international drug dealer father who gave me whatever I wanted and no one ever fucked with me to stepdaughter of an alcoholic who didn't give a fuck who my father was or anything and drank all of our money away. Beat the shit out of us, and we had to get Salvation Army presents for Christmas. Sleeping on a bunk with a kid who has been going to school for the last 5 years with no shoes and a plastic bag. So it was like how the other little half lives. And you know what? The unity of that is actually probably still, I have a lot of those friends this day.
Yeah.
They all came out better off in the end. Yep. And
you've got similar things straight away. You know, you're from similar background, and fucking oath.
But I was always the one who was like, oh, don't we need to go to school though and learn? And they're like, huh? Who raised you? Yeah. Because they still didn't have that part of it. They had parents who really didn't care. My dad definitely cared. My mum definitely cared. They just had habits that fucked themselves up, got themselves into a situation well over their heads. But they had foundation of family morals. We had family holidays. Yeah. Dad might have been putting a couple of kilos in the boot while we were inside, but hey, we still did it.
It's a holiday, but I've got a little business to attend to at the moment.
We went to America. We went to Disneyland. We travelled.
Yeah.
He was getting the recipe while he was there, but hey, we didn't see it.
Yeah.
So in reality, I'm like, what, you haven't been to Disneyland? Yeah. What, you haven't travelled overseas with your parents? Yeah. Oh my God! Like,
you're fortunate. I've done Disneyland. I had to do it all myself. I had to do it in my mid-20s before I got a crack. We had to save my ass off, and we got fuck all. But
so school, I in and out of school because I obviously was a foster kid or whatever else. Then I didn't want to be in foster care. Child safety said to me, "We're sick of putting you in homes. You don't want to stay there. So here's a tent. Go sleep on the beach." And
you'll be fine. Yeah.
In walks the father of my first 2 children. He was a foster kid too. He goes, "You can't sleep on the beach by yourself. You're only 14." And I said, "Yeah, and you're only 15." And he goes, "Well, let's go sleep on the beach together." Yeah. And we didn't actually have a baby. Yeah. For many years to come. Well, maybe a year and a half.
Yeah.
But you know, but we were really good friends. And we actually are really good friends even now. Even though we didn't make a good relationship, he actually said to me, "If only I had known that you were always right. Yeah, right. We would have been perfect." I'm like, "Well, it's taken you how long?"
Yeah. You're still in
ago.
touch. You're still in
Oh,
touch.
100%. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. He was my best friend. He was my best friend. I have another best friend who I still stay in touch with. So me and him have been best friends for 30 years. He put my bike in the creek.
Oh, right.
And then he got it out. That's the only reason he got forgiveness.
Yeah.
You put it in the creek, mate. You know who you are.
Yeah.
We were talking about it the other day, actually. He'll laugh at that.
Yeah.
So I rang up my dad and I said, Dad, I'm moving out of foster care. And he goes, what do you mean? And I said, well, I'm sick of it. He goes, I've been paying maintenance to your mother for the last 6 years. What do you mean?
Yeah.
Sorry, mate. But I haven't lived there for the last 4. And he's like, what? And so then obviously all that got cut off. So then I rang back and gone, okay, Dad.
Did he get nuts at your mum? Like, Jesus, you haven't lived there for the last sort of...
You know, she is friends with all of her exes except him.
Right, yeah, okay.
So I really feel like she's like, and it was a conversation had with her friends once that she would start fights so that he would hit her.
Yep.
Because then he would buy her whatever she wanted.
Okay.
And she would allegedly have jokes that, oh, I really like that. Oh, it's expensive. Oh, I'll get Peter to punch me.
Right. Yeah, shit. That's fuck. Jeez.
Did she say that? Who knows? Was it made up? Who knows? I wasn't there. But money was definitely a key factor in their relationship as to... So I don't think he was shocked. And I don't think he would have wasted his time having a go at her. It just would have been like... Oh, so I rang him back and I said, Dad, well, I need help. I'm staying at school and I need to, and I want to get my own place. I'm 15 years old. And if you don't help me, I'm going to have to leave school. And he goes, get a job. I was like, get fucked. Get a job. What is that? I've never seen you work a day in your life.
And at 15, you look at it, Coles or something like KFC.
$7 an hour. What are you doing with that? Anyway, ended up, I thought, fuck this prick. So then I rang my grandfather, who was a multi-millionaire.
Yeah.
ANZ CEO.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Big.
Banking,
well up there.
my God, license to print. Yeah.
And I said, Pa, I need some money. I need to get into a house and I need you to help me pay for it so I can stay at school. And he goes, get a job, and hung up on me.
Oh, right.
I was like, well, fuck you, bastard. So I got a job. And then I went to school at night.
Yeah, right.
And then I actually completed my education.
What, like TAFE? Yeah.
Through TAFE, and then I had to do distance education for some of the things as well and stuff like that. But yeah, I actually completed in year 12 with 2 children at the age of 20.
Yeah, shit.
So
but good for you for doing it.
And you
I
know
was a
what?
dropout, but yeah.
Well, but you know what?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have done it if they had given me money.
Yeah, that's true.
I wouldn't have.
So in a way, it's taught you, to you got to get.
They have definitely taught me to work.
Yeah.
You work and you'll value it. You sit at home and get it given to you, and it will disappear. Yeah, and that's what drug dealing is.
Yeah.
It's monopoly money. It's not real.
Well, this is what I'm going to say, Blondie.
It flows.
Blondie, now we're going to move forward a bit. We're going to fast forward to 2015.
Yes.
And let her rip. What happened in 2015? What happened around these... I know a little bit, but I
had
want
a
you to
midlife
tell
crisis.
the story. Yep.
My older kids moved out.
Yep.
I devoted my whole life to them.
Yeah.
We did ponies, we did scouts, we did swimming, we did sports, and if I wasn't at work, I was at an event with them, and they were my world.
Yep.
And then they grew up and didn't want to live with me anymore.
They do that.
Who the fuck are they?
They do. Yeah. What am I going to do?
I haven't even broken the umbilical cord yet.
Yeah.
I've got a 4-bedroom house. Mine's a playroom. You were playing Barbies and watching Miley Cyrus. Get inside.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't work out for me very well. Anyway, and then I just started going out with friends and stuff, and
and partying and
and try this, and I was like, oh my God, no! I have heard that one toke and you're gone. Yeah, and they're like, oh, don't be stupid.
Yeah.
You'd never be done like that. And I'm like, oh yeah, true. Give me a go. One toke. Out the window.
What are we talking?
2014
Speed,
ice. Yeah, 2014 ice. It was fun. What I can remember...
You don't sleep much.
Well, yeah, I got a lot of living done. Yeah, definitely. But then things that I'm told that I did, I go, I don't remember that. That doesn't sound fun. Yeah.
Doesn't sound like me.
No, I don't know who that was. But there is definitely blanks in the memory. And I know that some of these people could be telling the truth, because there is a little bit that I can remember. I'm like, I do remember that little bit.
So you've had a few bashes before you know it. You're bashing every day.
Yeah. Well, 2014, I met a man who was a basher daily.
Yep.
And, you know, I was helping mates back then. And basically, I didn't know that an ounce was a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
I got up around kilos.
Yeah, yeah.
So he's like, oh, yeah, do you want to get on? And I'm like, oh, yeah, I've still got some from, like, last week.
Yeah, yeah,
and he's like, what do you mean? And I'm like...
What do you mean you got some from last week? You should be gone by now. Yeah, yeah.
Like 2 ounces, yeah. And he's like, what the fuck? I was like, is that bad?
Yeah.
And he's like, no, that's really good. So anyway, basically, he's like, you should make heaps of money, rah, rah. And I was like, I don't want to make any money. Like, I don't want to make heaps of money. I just chucked it with a couple of people and we got enough and this will last me for 10 years. Like,
to you, it's partying and helping out friends.
I was working. Yeah, I was working. Yeah, it was not an income at all.
You don't think at this point, am I a dealer? You know, like,
no.
Yeah.
When I got told, I was like, what the fuck?
Am I a dealer? What?
Who said that?
Yeah.
Anyway, and so then he tried to talk me into selling this, you know, and I was like, you know. Yeah. And then when so then my friends, who I didn't realise were criminals too.
Yep.
He's like, how do you know him? How do you know him? And I'm like,
yeah.
What does that matter?
Yeah.
Do you know who that is? Yeah.
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 And?
He picks his nose.
Yeah, like, yeah. Farts a lot.
Have you seen how he wears his pants? Ugh. Like it was. I didn't understand. I didn't understand the celebrity names of the scene either.
Yeah, right.
I know about down here how you guys operate, but you know your names around your areas, like oh yeah, that guy, you know, blah, blah, oh yeah, that one.
Yeah.
And they were walking into my house, and like they're meant to be big baddies, and I had Charlotte then as well by that stage, and she's 3 years old putting makeup on them and making them stay still while she paints their nails. Don't fucking move.
Yeah.
And they go, but Charlotte,
I bet they would have loved it though too, like your little kid. Yeah.
Loved it.
Yeah.
And she has them on the couch with their heads back and painting their eyebrows, and then they're like, please, can we get up now? No, you can't. And then do what she said. And there was this thing on Facebook, and it said, when a 3-year-old hands you the phone and tells you Elmo's calling, you answer it.
You answer it. That's right. Yeah.
And that was her. Like, and I guess in a way, in my delusion, I kind of felt like that's how I grew up. Like, you know, that's exactly how I grew up.
So it advanced.
Very
quickly. The whole thing advanced very quickly.
Very quickly.
And now we're heading to 2016 sort of thing.
Well, 2015, I got arrested.
Yeah.
And they pulled me in.
And you're unaware that there's surveillance and shit going on, and yeah.
I was so unaware.
For like 5 months.
Stalking.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
I tried to get a DVO.
Yeah.
I tried to get a DVO on the police force. It doesn't work, by the way.
Yeah.
That's stalking. No. Yeah, they had been surveillancing for a few months. I just come into a little bit of the cusp at the end of it because I really wasn't doing it as much as, you know, I guess normal people would. So they were like, what the fuck is she doing?
And your friend was into it pretty big time. Yeah.
My friend was in really big time, and he got murdered. And another friend got really big time and is still in big time. But I had no idea. I didn't ask questions. I was raised not to.
Yep.
Knowledge is not power.
Yeah.
When you're in
this scene. Yep.
You don't ask. You don't need to know. Keep it to yourself. If it drops in my house and I get caught with it, you're fucking gone. That's how it goes. If it's not, I don't need to know what's in your pants. Do not tell me.
Yeah.
Fuck it off. Like, you know.
That's right.
They could have walked in with you know.
So you're shocked as fuck. So this all goes down. And the bust goes down.
And then I'm in the watch house for the first time. I'd never even seen the inside of a watch house before. I was in the watch house and it was scary. It was yucky.
Yeah.
I was actually scared I was going to get disease. I'm like not scared of the people in there. I was okay with the people, but
is this Southport or
no, up at Maroochydore.
Yeah,
it's like a dungeon. You need to be given a sword to slay dragons when they take you down there. It's all that.
Fucking putrid. Don't touch the walls. Don't touch anything. And You
know the mossy, mouldy crap on the Bessop Rocks?
Yeah, yuck.
And I'm looking at it going, I've been awake for 3 years.
Touch it, you get the flu.
But I still hadn't slept.
Yeah.
For God knows how long.
Yeah.
And they're going, oh man, I haven't had any for like 2 weeks. And I'm like, it's been an hour.
Yeah.
And this is the first time I've never had one for a couple of years. I think I might have a problem.
Yeah, yeah.
So I just went to sleep. I slept in this dirty, filthy watch house. Oh my God. And this
fuck.
girl is yelling out, help, I don't want to be here. And I'm going, shut the fuck up. It's not where I want to be either.
Yeah. But we're here. There's nothing you can do about
my
it.
My head is ringing.
Yeah.
I need to close my eyes. If you speak again, I'm going to get put in your cell.
Yeah, yeah.
She's like, but I'm scared. Oh, you will be.
Yeah, yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah, shut up. Bleeding. Yeah.
And I just slept. Then they come in and pulled me out. And they're like, oh, your lawyer's here. And the lawyer come in. And I said, yeah, what's going on? And she's like, well, you won't get bail. And I go, what? Why not?
Yeah.
I said, this is my first offence. I've never done anything wrong before. She goes, yeah.
But it's what's involved.
She goes, even murderer's first time?
Yeah.
Go to jail for life.
Yeah.
I go, but I'm not a murderer.
Yeah.
She's like, your charges are probably like 2 or 3 down from murder, like at the extent and the level.
And now it's kicking in. This is fucking serious.
I'm like, you're just setting me up.
Yeah.
This is a frame. I didn't think it was serious. I will go to a current affair.
Yeah,
I have been framed. Someone is lying.
This is a scam.
Did not understand it at all. And then she goes to me, you've been charged with extortion. And I go, oh yeah, whatever.
Extortion, yeah.
Well, extortion. I knew people who had been done for extortion. Oh, we'll just get it.
There was a whole bunch of on your sheet. There was a whole bunch of things they just slapped all over you. Drug paraphernalia, drug this, drug that, drug. Like, yeah.
I don't know whether I'll get in trouble for this, but I'll tell you a funny story about it.
Up to you. Don't get yourself in the shit, but up to you.
I don't think so, because I don't own it anymore. But anyway.
There we go, Swears.
They charged me with all these different
It was.
weapons offences and everything else.
I was shocked. I was like, what? Yeah.
So one of them was a taser that you get online from eBay.
Yep.
Right? And it has to have an American plug to an Australian to charge it.
This is where they all come from, mainly the States.
But it never worked because I just couldn't be bothered. And this guy gave it to me and I'm like, what the fuck is this for? And he's like, I just worry about you sometimes. And I'm like, oh, please. You know, what do you worry about me for? He's like, you're way too relaxed. What happens to you? I said, if something happens to me, I'm not going to have time to get into my purse, turn it on, and then shove it in someone. Trust me. Like, I've already pulled their eyes out by that's happened. You know, so just sit back. Anyway, I had another taser, which you don't plug in, you don't charge. It's a proper one. It's about this big. It's a cylinder one. Yeah, right. It's got 2 prongs on the end. Yeah, and when you go like that,
I know. And it's a handle and
it is full on.
It's actually a bit like a cow prod type thing. Yes. Yeah. Fuck, that would put you down.
Oh, it will put you down.
Yeah.
And I had it in
possibly give you a heart attack. Yeah.
In the right spots, it can do damage. You knock your kidneys out and everything. Anyway, I'd never used it ever. And
God, you'd be tempted to have a bash on something, just give it a demo run, wouldn't you?
That's torturous.
No, on something.
I'm
No. I'm not saying like a dummy or something. You just to see what happens. Like, yeah.
If I had ever met like a child offender or anything, I definitely would have. I definitely would have. I definitely would have had a bit of fun.
10 or 12 times.
Yeah. Just make sure the battery's on.
Yeah.
But no. Look, I knew it worked. I must have used it before. I'm sure I had, as in a tester on the wall or something. Who knows what I did? But I knew it worked. Anyway, it was on the bed. When they raided, I mean, where's the guns? Where's the guns?
Oh, you're gone. If it's there, you're gone. Yeah,
and I go,
another charge.
In your hand?
Yeah.
Like, where's the guns? I don't know, guys. We used to tell them the story. What do you mean, where's the guns?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, we found this. I said, that has never even been charged, that little it looked like an iPhone.
Brand new.
Brand new?
Yeah, brand new.
And I go, it's never even been used. They go, pool equipment still in the packaging. That is proceeds of crime. I'm like, that's my fucking kids' floaties. What do you mean? You've been given that from into exchange for drugs. I'm like, no, whatever, keep going. Anyway, he comes into the bedroom and he sees it on the bed and he goes, you're disgusting. And I go, what? Don't judge me. I'm thinking, I'm disgusting because I have this dangerous weapon on my bed.
Yeah.
Like, as in, who am I?
Yeah.
Who am I going to hurt with this? Because it is dangerous, this thing. And he's like, oh, yuck. And he walks out and I was like, he thought it was a vibrator.
Oh.
I did win one.
Yeah.
Lost it. I don't know where it is now. But I was still wrapped. I was fucking wrapped. I was like, yes, I'm disgusting. Yes, you're right.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
Yeah, that would have been a nasty one.
Yeah.
And then they found the gun outside underneath some rocks and stuff. I had no idea, by the way, and this is how very stupid I am, that they have sniffer dogs that find ammunition.
Right,
and guns. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Well, no one told me that.
Yeah. Okay,
really needs to be, a bit of training in this, like, where's the, they do like an induction when you work for Woolies.
What happened? What happened? So your lawyer said basically you're fucked at this stage.
You're not going to get out. And I said, mate, I am getting out. And I said, and if you don't get me out, then I will fire you. And she said, well, I'm legal aid. I said, well, move on. I'll find someone else and I'll pay them.
Yeah.
she ended up getting me out on bail the next day. And there was so many people that got charged that day. It was like 150 people.
You wouldn't have been
whatever.
able to leave the house or anything, yeah?
Well, so basically anyone with a history who had drug charges pending or parole or anything like that got no bail. 150 people. You imagine the court? Boom, boom, boom. They didn't want to hear it. And the judge goes, no history, no outstanding offences, bail.
Yeah,
I was like, yeah, that's right, bitches.
Yeah.
What'd that say?
Later.
It was a total fluke.
Yeah.
Had it been a normal situation, I would not have gotten bail on those charges. The offences were pretty severe.
Yeah.
So, yeah, look, the conditions were don't talk to this person, don't talk to that person.
Yep.
Don't put anything offensive on social media that intimidates witnesses.
Yep.
And all I did was put on Blondie one way or another. I'm going to find you.
Yep.
I'm going to get you.
Yeah.
It was very upbeat.
Yeah.
I was giving,
one way or another, yeah. So what happened? So
I ran out of the watch house and I was just so happy to get out of there. And I was like, yes, I'm out of this fucking dungeon. 3 days I was in there for. It was the biggest 3 days of my life. And then I've run outside and I went, I don't have a purse. I don't have a phone. I haven't got my car.
yeah.
I'm nowhere near home.
Yeah.
What do people do before mobile phones?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Fuck. And I'm still coming down like a train.
Yeah.
And anyway.
You got a public solicitor, public defender, whatever. Yeah.
Well, she didn't help.
She didn't do fuck all.
She's probably kissing the prosecutor at that stage.
Where,
Oh.
where is all your gear? Back at home? You just got nicked and...
They took all my cars. But one was getting fixed at the mechanics that they didn't grab.
Thank God, yeah.
So then they took my phones and everything, but that's fine, I don't want them back, you can keep them. And they took all my money in cash that I had on me at the time, which was fine as well.
Yeah.
But the point was I had nothing on me.
Yeah.
And it was 4:30 in the afternoon when I got out. So no banks were open. I can't even walk into a bank and get money out over the counter. So I ended up getting a taxi to my mechanic.
Yeah.
Making him pay for it. Put it on the tab, mate, and I'm sure he made enough money off me, so he was right with it. And got my car, and that's how I ended up getting home. So, and then I was like, oh my God, what the hell's going on here? And then all people just formed over to my house. They're like, oh my God, what happened? I said, I don't know, apparently I'm a drug dealer. What the fuck? And they go, what? Oh my God. That's...
But you got to get a good lawyer here as well, or, yeah.
Well, I definitely sacked the,
Yeah,
that one, she's gone. And then I sacked several more.
Yeah, right. Okay.
And then by the end of it... I ended up going in a couple of times, breach of bail and stuff, because father of my first children was a criminal.
Yep.
On and off. He isn't anymore, but and he used to say to me, you never put in a plea. No plea. If you ever get caught, no plea.
Yep.
So I got done for bail breaches. No plea. Remanded for 6 weeks. I would have got a fucking fine.
Oh, wow.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
I just went, no plea. Because I've been here before. I know what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
They're like,
cool.
yeah.
I'm cool. Yeah.
Yeah, no. 6 weeks. Longest 6 weeks of my life.
Oh, fucking hell.
Then the next time, my mum had a DVO on me. The police said that if she is going to get bail, that they wanted to protect her with a DVO.
Yep.
We had an argument one day. The police were called because any type of movement from me, if I farted and they thought it sounded like a gun, they were there. So they came there and they go, your mum has red marks around her neck. I said, mate, she's 60 years old. Do you think I'm going to fucking strangle my mother? And that red mark, that's from hormones, Jeff. And if I strangled her, it'd be up here. It wouldn't be here.
Yeah. I know exactly what you mean. You get that
bloody
shit.
bastards.
Yeah.
And they go, well, you must have done something because we're here. Someone hurts. I said, yeah, tell her to fuck off. And he goes, that's not a good nature. You're under arrest. 3 fucking months for breach of DVO for not being of good nature.
Mate, they're all over you, mate.
I know, but none of them have bought me a drink. They've all seen me naked. They keep saying, we're going to strip search you. I go, now don't offer me a good time. I'm not into you. You're not my type.
So court.
So 2016, I ended up getting out after the DVO. And then I thought, you know what, I'm going to jail. By this time, I've gone to jail now twice.
Yeah.
I've spoken to other people, like reality.
You've accepted it. It's just how fucking long. Yeah.
The alleged extortionists were trying to extort me and asked me if I paid them that they'd drop the statements. And so I told my solicitor, and he goes, and if I give this information to the prosecutor, you'll actually be charged for breaching your bail and being in contact with them.
Jesus.
I'm like, are you fucking for real?
Yeah.
So I decided, fuck it. Like, I'm not going to win.
No, you're not. You're flogging a dead horse here.
Yep. You want me to go to jail? I'm going to jail. I'm going to have fun.
Yep.
So I partied, like a rock star.
Yep.
Took out every bit of savings money I had and won some money here and there on a bit of gambling. It was pretty cool.
Okay.
And,
Stash your cash. Yeah.
You know, I paid 2 years on a storage container, put all my shit in there, and just had a good time.
Pre-prepped. Yeah. Pre-jail preppers. Yeah.
Took my daughter shopping every day, let her be a princess, gave her whatever she wanted, took her to the daycare, made sure they knew who her mother was. When I'm away, don't fuck with my kid, you know?
Yeah, yeah. And the court date's coming up. It's like, mum's got to go away for a while. And
2 of the daycare teachers from that school ended up becoming traffickers. Nothing to do with me, by the way.
Yeah, dead set. Yeah.
And I said to my partner, I'm like, oh my God, here I was worried that they were judging me.
Yeah.
They were like, yeah.
Well, it doesn't discriminate, does it? You'd be surprised who gets into it. And
100%. So anyway, go to have some last minute rendezvous with a man.
Yep.
And pregnant.
Hey, thanks very much.
Wow.
I was almost going to say thanks for coming, but
And then I was like, oh, this is cool. Is it cool? Like, who are you? I don't even really know him at this stage. I've only really just met him. But I didn't really want to know him for long. Like, it was only meant to be... Like, I was going to jail in a couple of months.
Court. See you later.
No, I had to go to Supreme Court first to the... where they cross-examine the witnesses.
Looking full on, yeah.
And by this stage, I'm about 3 months pregnant. I'm trying to get off the gear as well because I'm obviously pregnant now. Yep. But I'm as paranoid as fuck.
Yep.
Like, everything I'm looking at is just jumping me, right?
Yep.
I fucking think cops are watching me every 5 minutes and they're not. They can't be bothered by it. They've got me enough by then. They're not even interested in me. Anyway, my lawyer goes, now, mate, when we go into the courtroom now, this is at Supreme Court.
Yep.
I'm going to go over there and don't get freaked out, but the police that charged you will have to stand up and give their statements about, how they read that.
Oh, and they're really going to lay it on thick, yeah.
And all I heard was the arresting police officers are going to be there.
Yeah.
So I ran. Why did I run? I have no idea. Anyway.
Not a good move.
Stupid moves.
Yeah.
Breached my Supreme Court bail.
Oh,
anyway, so then my lawyer rings me and he goes, I don't want to know where you are or what you're doing. He's like, but you've fucking done it now. He goes, and I don't even think I
help you.
He goes, I don't even know if I want to fucking represent you anymore. You've pissed me off. I said, well, you said that they were going to be there. He goes, to fucking get on the stand. I go, well, you could have explained that.
Yeah, thanks.
Well, who's not giving all the information now, hey? Anyway, so he goes, I had all those witnesses lined up because nowadays, you can't just get a witness on the stand. You have to get permission. So the judge and the prosecutor have to agree that that person can get on the stand because otherwise you can victimise the victims. You can traumatise them all over again. If they were telling the truth. Anyway, so one of my witnesses shot at police stealing guns from a home, stole a camera from a news crew's hands as they were filming other stuff he'd stolen. And
these aren't good moves, mate.
And
these
then goes, I'm a drug addict. She made me do it. And gets no jail time. So that's the extortion. I'm like, I have no idea. Like, I had met this guy one time.
This is all happening. It's all a bit surreal, isn't it? Really, like it's all like fuck.
They just wanted someone to tell on me.
Yeah.
And they found some petty little that had met me a few times.
So you're screwed, basically.
So I was screwed and screwed.
Sentenced to...
I was fucked twice. Once for the sentence and once for the baby. Anyway, have the baby in there, and I thought, well, this is cool.
Where'd you go? Where'd they send you? You got sentenced
hang
to...
on.
Yep.
I ran away. I lasted a week on the run. By the time the week ended, I was like, if they come and get me, I'm not running.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
Well, you get to the point too. I want this. I want to get some sorted. I was
craving food. I couldn't even leave the house. I needed the baby's coming. Like you're starting to think of these things. Your whole mindset changes.
Yeah.
I can't live like this. What the hell am I doing? Barefoot, pregnant, no teeth, junkie, going to jail for trafficking, and what the hell? And at your age, you idiot.
So, what happened?
Get arrested.
Sentenced?
No, they had me on remand for about 12 months. and they were talking 8 years with 3-year bottoms and 2 years and 5 years and all that stuff. And I was just like, whatever. I'm here now. What am I going to do? I'm not going to jump the fence. My goodness.
You want to get it sorted.
It's just done. Yeah. So then, go through my whole pregnancy and stuff, and because of the charges, they wouldn't allow me to go to a minimum security. They made me stay in max.
Oh, really? Fuck.
Which was whatever. Again, like, you can't do anything about it, so whatever. Like, even though the charges ended up being downgraded, so the prosecutor agreed to downgrade them, so I just got demand with threats of violence, not extortion. And threats of violence, if you actually read their statement, it says she told them to stop. I got punched once, and she told him not to punch me again.
So how long have you done?
I did the violence
With remand and everything now? You've done a bit of time already.
Yeah, I did. So by that time in jail, I had done about a year. So I was waiting the sentencing, but you have to wait for all of the people who have told on you to get sentenced. Yep. So we're getting into 2018 now. Yeah, fuck. 2017, 18. It
drags, doesn't it? Jesus.
Oh, fuck yeah. But see, normally you'd just get sentenced.
Yep.
They would have surveillance and you would go. They had a little bit of surveillance, but they had tellers. So the tellers had to get sentenced first. Yep. So I have to wait for all their bullshit to go through. And there was 5 of them. Yeah. So that's why we had to wait so long. Anyway, long story short is that come 8 months pregnant and I've prepped to have the baby, you have to have all these different things organised. You have to have your own pram. You have to have all your own stuff. And you're getting $30 a week for the jail, so you have to have help from outside. Oh, anyway, luckily I do have good normal friends too that
helped you out a lot.
Yeah.
Where'd you go?
Brisbane Women's Correctional. And also at that time, they were changing the rules that women who couldn't go to minimum security weren't allowed to have their children in jail. Yeah. So 8 months pregnant, and they come down and tell me that they're not allowing me to have the child in jail. That I have to hand her out the moment she's born. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And they're like, you're handling this really well. You're not acting violent. I'm like, I can barely move.
Yeah, exactly.
My vagina feels like it's going to fall out.
Yeah.
I'm peeing every second, and I'm squashed in this tiny cell with 10 other women in the unit. I don't give a fuck right now.
Violence, escaping, it's the last thing on my fucking mind.
Talk about the violence later.
Yeah.
Wait, I've had this baby.
No
jokes. Yeah. Anyway, went outside. One of the lifers in jail, she said, what's going on? And she said to me, she goes, you know that they're giving you a hard time? And I said, I don't know what a good time is, so... Well, in jail, what is a good time? And she's like, you should do this, and these are your rights, everything. And I said, well, she's like, they're actually like, this is not cool. So she got me the number of Debbie Kilroy, which is Sisters Inside. She started Sisters Inside. And Prisoner Legal Services, another lady there. And they fought. And I gave birth, cesarean, on the 17th of January. On the 18th of January, I wrote a letter to the baby's father, because he ended up getting arrested too. Idiot couldn't last long without me. Anyway.
This is a character swing, that's it.
One of a kind. Anyway, I wrote a letter on the 18th and I said, I have dealt with it. I've processed it. It's happening. I can't stop it. I'll get out. I'll fight. I'll get my child back. I am not letting my child be in foster care. And I had...
You've been there, done that,
I had agreed to give custody, guardianship to the mother of the baby's grandmother on the paternal side. She had been visiting me while I was in jail and stuff, which, mind you, she's a bit of a bitch. But you know what? Toothless junkie pregnant with her granddaughter in jail saying, hey, I'm in the middle of extortion charges and trafficking. Would you mind having this child for me?
Yeah.
Could you not be a bitch? I don't know. At least she came. She was there when the baby was born, and she waited outside for when they came to take the baby and give to her. She decked out the whole room and everything for her, ready to go. On the 19th of January, because I had a cesarean, they kept me in the hospital longer. And the lady from the hospital at Ipswich said to me, the reason you're allowed to have your baby for an extra few days is because while you're in here, your medical cesarean pregnancy overrides your prisoner status.
Yeah, right, yeah.
So the hospital allows you to have your baby. It's the jail that's not.
Yeah, right.
Once I go back into custody and the hospital releases me, that's when the baby goes. Wow. So I got an extra 2 days. So I was fucking awake. I was
going to say, hospital would be a relief in a way.
Higher than a crackhead with an ounce.
Yeah,
I was up with, and then they said, we need you to start walking around the hospital because obviously you've had a cesarean and you get blood clots and things.
Yeah.
So I had to hold on to this little stand thing and walk around.
Blood clots are the last fucking thing you want, mate. Yeah.
I'm like this.
Yeah.
And the next thing I get back to the room and the lady goes, sorry, we can't do that again. And I go, what? And she goes, you're just going to have to walk around your bed in here. And the room is like...
The room space, they're pretty small, yeah.
And I go, what? And she goes, the other patients are scared of you. I
can barely walk. I haven't had any interaction. Backtrack for a second. When you were in labour, is there anything to tell us there?
There's no labour. I had to have a cesarean.
Yes, is it? But,
she wouldn't come out.
Is there anything to tell us?
When you're in labour, you have...
What, with the screws? And,
you have two screws in there.
Yep.
I was allowed to have a support person. But where the hospital is to where my support person is about 3 hours difference.
Okay.
So I had to get her prepped and ready to come down there. She's a high school friend of mine.
Yep.
She came down. You basically... You're restrained within the bed.
Yep.
Not...
This is a part of which...
not traditional handcuffing, but you're restrained. And you're having an epidural.
Yeah.
And
so restraints like that tie off, those ties sort of thing?
Yeah, kind of thing, yeah. And then you've got two screws watching everything.
This is the part I find amazing, Swing. It's like, fucking hell, you're in this shit, like I'm a high risk, like,
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to run in the middle of a cesarean, I'm going to bolt, yeah.
But, this is the thing, though, that wasn't even relevant to my birthing of my daughter because I got to have her for 2 more days.
Yeah.
So all that stuff... Yeah, it happened, but it didn't ingrain in me.
Yeah, no.
That wasn't the story of her.
Yeah. I just found it, I can fucking spin out. It's
everyone
like,
spins out. Everyone goes, what the fuck?
Kidding me?
Why didn't you tell us that bit?
Yeah,
and I'm like, really?
Yeah.
That was important?
Yeah.
I didn't know
when
that.
I found that, I was just like, are you fucking kidding? I can't believe it. Yeah.
So, I have the epidural in my spine, and on the 19th is when they were releasing me from the hospital, and child safety, everything was coming. So, sisters inside sent a rep down just to be there, hold my hand.
Yep.
The women at the jail, they all knew that the baby was going.
Yep.
So they were all there, like, making cupcakes and cream pies and God knows what else. They make the best sweets.
Yeah.
Homemade ice cream. Oh, my God. Those women.
Would be fantastic from jail.
No, I'm telling you. There's one.
Yep.
She's a nasty murderer, but I tell you what, she can cook a mad vegetarian. She's great. But, they were all ready. Like, as much as whether you like someone or you don't like someone personally or whatever, every woman in there knows what it's like to lose a child.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Whether it's from going to jail, whether it's from whatever.
It's bloody awful.
They all knew. So the whole jail was flat.
Yeah.
When I left. And I was like, bye. And they're all like, because they go, and even later on they said to me, you were smiling, we couldn't smile at you. We knew you were going to leave.
Yep.
Anyway, I'm sitting in there, and then the legal representative comes in from Prisoner Legal Services. There's 2 screws in there, and child safety waiting outside. So they weren't allowed to just walk in, because in case I attacked them.
Right,
after an epidural.
Yeah.
Anyway, before they open the door,
and everything else,
yeah. I know my guts are about to fall out.
Let's
I can barely
let's punch
wee.
on.
I just had a colostomy bag on me. I'm like,
yeah.
Anyway, this screw comes over and she pulls out the baton and stuff. She goes, I'm warning you. Any funny business, I'm going to open this door. I'm going to let him in. You move or try and run.
Yeah. I'm going to hit you with a colostomy bag. Yeah.
And if I did run, who the fuck was going to take the bag off me? Like,
I
wouldn't trust any criminal to take that off.
I think I just want to be like, seriously? Like, what am I going to do? Like,
But the look on her eye was like, it's been done before. And I'm thinking...
It's a bit of a power trip.
Come on, mate.
It's a power trip.
Settle down.
Yeah.
Calm down, Tiger.
Yeah,
open the fucking door. This is getting done. Well, now I'm getting pissed. I just want it done.
Yeah.
Anyway, the two child safety people come in. One was from the head of child safety, whatever. And he's like, you're an extortionist. You're a drug trafficker. You're this, you're that. And I said, whoa. We've just already had 6 weeks of this back and forth.
Crap, yeah.
You can stop now.
Yeah.
And he goes, what? I said, I don't need to be spoken to like this.
Yeah.
I said, guess what, mate?
We've been through this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're moving forward.
Yeah, we've done this. Yeah.
So,
So
until I'm actually a, what did I say? I've been charged with extortion and trafficking. I'm not convicted yet. So you will no longer speak to me as though I have been.
like something
I've
stepped
actually
in.
had enough. You're taking my baby today, and I've come to deal with it. I got 2 days. Fuck yous.
Yeah.
I win. 2 days. I won.
Yeah.
And he goes, you just handled that really well.
Well,
And I said,
what do you want me to do? Yeah. The ball's in their court, but I just want to relax
still got a
here.
wee bag on me. I'm not
Yeah.
really getting my dignity back still, but
Yeah.
there's all these people and all these high up officials in this one little tiny hospital room,
Yeah.
and there's this beautiful little baby
Yeah.
who I had on drugs,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I'm looking at this kid going, "You poor kid. The first thing you had to see was my face. I had no teeth.
Yeah.
My teeth were fucked.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was overweight because I've been in jail and not moving and eating everyone else's sweets that they made me."
Yeah. Yeah.
And self-indulging, and I'm looking at this kid going, "You don't deserve me."
Yeah.
But guess what? I'm gonna turn it around. So he goes, "You can keep her." I go, "What?" He goes, "Take it back to the. We're not taking the baby off you."
Oh.
And I go, "Huh?"
Yeah.
And then they go, "Oh my god!" Everyone's like cheering. I'm like, what? I had just come to terms.
Yep.
I was there.
Yeah. Yeah.
She was gone.
Yep.
I had processed it. She'd left.
Yep.
Now she's coming back with me.
Yeah.
She is. I'm out of here. And then he goes, "But we would like Debbie Kilroy from Sisters Inside to stop calling child safety child stealers." And the Sisters Inside rep said, "I'm sorry, no."
Yeah. Right.
And he goes, "Well, it's worth a try." And,
Yeah.
and that was it.
So you got through all that.
Debbie had been at his office. I later found out he was quite high up. I don't know what authority he had.
Yeah.
But she had gone to his office at 7 a.m. on the 19th of January 2018, bashed his door in until he listened to her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because she knew that was the day.
Yeah. Right.
She had seen him, she'd spoken to him, and that was it.
Jeez.
From what I heard later, she was at the front of his office calling him a child-stealing piece of shit.
Yeah.
And that child's blood's on your hands, you motherfucker. And
Jeez.
she did not hold back. She is a damn good woman. As far as advocacy for that goes, I could not commend her enough. She saved us.
Yeah.
So I tear up a little bit.
Yeah.
Only time you ever see emotion.
No,
What is that? What is that? What is that?
It's
What is
a
that?
fair call.
What is that coming from my eye?
Is it cool? Well, look, what we're going to have to do is we're getting a little pressed on time.
Are
So
we?
what we're going to do, Blondie, is I want to ask you a little bit. You're back in prison. And God bless you. God bless you.
They
your
didn't
kid
know I was
and
bringing
all
the
that.
baby back.
You're
The
back
jail didn't
there.
even know.
Give us a story. Basically, and God bless your kid. Good on her. What happened? What's your story in prison, mate? What happened there? How did you handle it? How did you go? We have any Barneys there?
So part of the
a
rules.
bit of that, and then before we finish, if you want to talk a little bit about your dad, I know a little bit about it, but if you want to talk a little bit, I'm not mentioning any names or anything else, but it's interesting swingers, because Marcus will start kicking my ass shortly.
Okay.
And
Sorry, Marcus.
But no, don't. But anyway, so look,
We're going to have to do a couple of sequels. I told you.
You've got the
mini-series.
You've got the bub. Well, I do part 2, so we can come back to that later in the year, or early next year, or something.
Well, I can tell you this.
But you're back inside.
We got back to the jail.
Yep.
The screw grabbed one of the prisoners and said, "Put this pram together really, really quickly."
Yep.
It was still in the box.
Yeah.
She goes, "What for?" And she goes, "Apparently she's bringing the baby back."
Yeah, right.
And no one knew except for that prisoner and that screw. When I got out of the jail, everyone was there, like, waiting. They were at their windows. They were at all around. They were waiting to go, "Oh, my God, we're so sorry." And they're like, "She's got it. She's got the baby."
And so everyone...
1,200 women
cheering,
in that whole jail.
cheering.
And the screw was laughing. And he actually, I don't really like screws, but he was actually all right. And he goes, "Mate, you're going to end up with more charges by the end of the day. You're going to get it right one in a minute. Look at these girls. They're going crazy." Because that was going to bust through the fucking glass, you know?
Yeah.
They were ecstatic. And
But when you're in prison, it's a real morale booster, isn't it,
it was
for everyone?
a massive
Yeah.
booster. And,
Yep.
and it was just that little bit
Yep.
of a win.
Yep.
for a prisoner. You know, and you know, do we deserve anything when we're in there? We're getting probably not.
Yeah.
But fuck you. You live there.
Yeah, yeah. That's
you know what I mean?
yeah.
You do one tiny thing wrong, and it does sound really bad, and it's this and that and whatever else. And I didn't think it was bad, but you know what? Whatever. Living in prison with a baby, you have to have all of your own stuff. Like I said, you do get a payment from family tax, but you get nothing else. It's like $150 a fortnight. So you are a high dollar prisoner.
Yeah, right.
Everyone else gets
and I mean,
$20.
every cent of that goes to the pubs anyway. You know,
Well,
like for your stuff you need. Yeah.
But you still
Nappies and
you get $150 a fortnight.
Yeah.
Nappies cost you $50, but you know, whatever.
Yeah.
But so they do a buy up once a fortnight for the babies.
Yep.
You get your normal buy up and whatever else. No toys.
Yeah.
Just a cot and you get a change
And they put
table.
you in maximum?
They left me in maximum. I was the only mother and baby in maximum because this is when they were just changing over. They were looking into it.
Yeah.
So then...
what are we now into?
2018.
Yeah.
So come February and stuff, all of the official people from corrective services wanted to meet this maximum security baby raised around lifers because you can't be in a unit in jail on your own. So I had to be housed with the murderers.
Yeah, right.
Because they're the only ones that don't come and go.
Yeah.
Because the other thing is, you got a baby. If you got prisoners coming and going, you can get germs, and you know what I mean. It's a bit more unsettling.
Yeah.
So they put all the lifers in there.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And they loved it.
Yeah.
Because the mother's unit has 4 cells, but only 4 prisoners.
Yeah, right.
So prisoner and baby, prisoner and baby, prisoner and baby.
Yeah.
So we had 3 prisoners and then 1 prisoner baby.
Yep.
But we still got the rations for a 10-cell unit.
Oh, cool.
So there was a lot of perks.
Yeah.
You know, like look at the bright side.
Yeah.
Then I'm walking my baby around the oval on the pram, and one of the from the protection yard could see.
Yep.
And one of the other girls, don't you bring that baby near that kid killing dog. And Nellie started a massive riot there.
Yep.
But one of the conditions of being in there with her is that she would be removed immediately if there was a riot, if I was
absolutely.
around a fight, if there was a fight with 2 people and I was near it with my baby, they would take her out.
Yeah, right.
I would lose custody of her. Then they started to see how well that worked, the assholes, and they conditionally added it on, if there's any issues in the unit, I get blacklisted for. I get written up. So it was like everyone was being good in my unit then, because she'll lose the baby. They were using the baby a lot as a bartering tool, I guess.
Yeah.
We were all very well behaved.
Yeah, I bet.
All the women really banded together. It was
And you got a mixed bag in there as well. People, all different offences.
All different offences, but we all bonded. I'm still friends with a majority of them.
Yep.
We all bonded, and
you do. We were on the same boat.
One of the women was with me my whole pregnancy, and she ended up getting in trouble 2 weeks before I had my daughter. And she goes, when are you going to have that fucking baby? But from the other end of the jail, because she'd been tipped. And I said, when you get back to the fucking right unit, bitch, you're supposed to be helping me. And when I got back with her, she'd been moved to my area. I said, I told you, this kid is smart.
Yeah.
And she is really smart to this day. She would hear certain people's names, and I'd be breastfeeding, and she'd go, oh, that was the other thing too. If you didn't breastfeed, she'd be removed.
Oh, shit.
Because the only reason that they got me in there with her is because of the mother-daughter connection.
Bonding and,
that's crucial, that's been missing, I'd never breastfed my kids before, not for more than a week.
Yeah.
And I was like, kid.
I heard it's not.
Yeah, it's not. And I go, kid, we're doing
boys
this.
can be real chewy. I've heard.
Well, she was a girl, and I go, kid, we're doing this.
Yeah, I know she was a girl, but I heard boys can be chewy.
Oh,
apparently, my old mum said years ago it didn't last long. You nearly fucking tore my fucking nipple off. Like,
So after when the boobs start to get a bit I said to the screws, I said, would you mind what your breast milk you meant to do? Yeah, she gives the formula. He goes, no, I'll take the kid right now if I get your formula. Oh. I was like, are you kidding me, mate? I said, can you get me something? My boobs are like really sore. He goes, nah. I was like, what the hell? I wasn't even allowed to have boob ointment.
Yeah. There's some people that really enjoy their job though, isn't it? You know what I mean? You get some wankers like,
There was one who said to me, I cannot believe such a beautiful baby is born with such an ugly bitch like you. And I go, Wow.
Go and play your mind game somewhere else.
You really have a small dick, don't you?
Yeah.
Do you think I care? You're not in my world. Fuck up. But yeah, there was a lot of nasty ones.
Yeah.
A lot of nasty ones.
And I imagine a few okay ones too. Like you said, that one earlier on. Yeah.
There was one really cool one. And we were in line for Meadow one night. And she goes, "Don't say that about that Aboriginal girl. She's not a black dog."
Oh.
And then my friend goes, "I didn't fucking say that. What do you mean? You didn't mean bash." She goes, "Don't give me shit next time at head count and I won't yell that out."
Yeah.
And I was like, "You cool cunt. Yeah, I hate you. Like, I hate you, but that was so cool." And she's like,
what all up about 2 years?
Yeah. All up with my breaches and stuff. I had to, about 2 years.
And it could have been a lot worse, or
6 years on top, like above the 2 years, so 8 years total.
Yep.
It could have been a lot worse. Well,
a lot of parole.
Parole's all right. Parole's good.
Yep.
Because I learned how to cheat it for the first year.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And then I got help and got my shit together. Lost the kids after I got out of jail. So about 3 years after I got out of jail.
Yeah.
Lost them.
Yeah.
Due to at risk of harm. The father that I didn't really know, that I knew, and obviously had a baby with before I went to jail.
Partying time, yeah.
Yes, he was a domestic violence perpetrator. But I felt that it wasn't because I hit him back. Yeah. I'm not a victim.
Yeah.
Look at his face.
Yeah, self-defense.
Yeah. I didn't know that, what I was doing. Anyway, in these papers from Child Safety, they said she's been conditioned her whole life. She's, criminally engulfed and will never ever see the reality of life and all this kind of crap. Like, it was really nasty. I was like, excuse you. I rang up all these barristers, rang up all these lawyers, and everyone's like, "Oh yeah, give me 20,000 and I'll represent you. Give me 50, yeah, no worries."
Yeah.
And this other one, I ended up after spending 50,000. Top barrister in New South Wales, he said to me, "Mate, I'll never walk into a courtroom with child safety."
Yeah.
And I said, "Why?" And he goes, "Because basically they can put anything on an affidavit. Doesn't matter."
Yeah.
And it's true.
Yeah, it's gospel.
They don't have to provide evidence like a criminal.
Yep.
They just say this is what we believe, and too bad.
It's basically like the media and like the news. Oh, it's on the news, so it's got to be 100% true. It's like, it's fucking bullshit, most of it.
And it's good. It's good because it saves babies' lives.
Yeah.
And if it does happen, well, it's true. But if we said that about every single situation, we would remove every child for at risk of harm.
Yeah.
Would we?
Yeah.
Your child can fall over because you've got steps there and they're not properly aligned with the rubber on them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
oh, absolutely.
At what point do you say fucking oath?
Yeah. And you love your kids. I mean, I can see that you love your kids. You got out. When you got out, what was the educational thing? That early learning thing. You got involved in a bit of that. Up in your area in Queensland.
That was before.
Oh, it was before.
I did that before I even touched drugs.
Oh, really? Because I saw that. Yeah. I just looked a little bit of that, and I thought that's a really nice thing to do.
I was always
active early
active
education. It was with the police
learning.
Youth thing and all
Flexible
that.
learning.
What do they call it? They used to call it Police Boys Club or something. Now it's a Police Youth.
No,
whatever.
that was just where we held the actual classrooms.
Okay.
It was basically distance education.
But that's a good thing.
But guided by youth workers.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Yeah.
Because that's what I needed when I was younger.
Yeah, that's a really good thing. I was just trying to point that out because it's a positive thing too. It's not all negative as well, you know what I mean?
No.
There's good things that people, and that's what I've said on this show before. It's not all bad, and I believe when people have done a crime and done it and served their crime and paid their dues, everyone's entitled to a second shot. Everyone's entitled to a say. You know what I mean?
And everyone's entitled to a fuck up.
Yeah, of course. Fuck. If I'd be a multi-millionaire for $1 for every fuck up I've had in my life.
Yeah.
Mate, we're going to wrap it up soon. But do you want to talk about your dad a little bit before we wrap up?
I think.
Totally up to you.
Oh.
She has a very interesting father, Blondie Swingers, and if you want to say something, I know you went to the States a few times.
Yeah,
and,
he was a very notorious biker. He was one of the founding members of an international group.
Yep.
And he
in Melbourne as well.
He made amphetamines for the first time in Australia.
Yeah.
So it's all his fault.
And he was, I believe, San Francisco was his first trip as a young guy.
California,
He was in
yeah,
Melbourne,
yeah. His early 20s, he went over to America.
Yep. Did about 4 trips and
had to
got
study-
educated a bit there. And
Well, the men were in jail,
yep,
so he had to study the recipe while talking through the jail.
yep,
So he couldn't write it down. You couldn't take in a notepad and book.
right.
He didn't have a computer. There was no Google.
No.
And he memorised it.
There's a lot of good things about before technology too.
Yeah,
so
yeah. You had to use your brain.
Yeah, exactly.
He-
Instead of going like this fucking all day, but yeah.
He got it, and he came back over here.
Yep.
And in return, he sent over a vital ingredient to them so that they could make it as well, which made it better over there, which was illegal there but legal here.
Yep.
He used my grandmother's holiday house, which I don't think she ever gave him for, and
Right.
put it into some Golden Circle pineapple cans, and he became a fruit exporter.
There you go, swingers. Yeah. And it was a very lucrative time, I would imagine.
Well, he went from $15,000 startup to multi-millions within weeks. And I think as well, that's why, like I said to you earlier, the volatility between my parents and where it all comes from.
Yep.
You can understand mum's dating this guy and he's a roughie, you know, oh yeah, he's so sexy. And then next thing you know,
Interesting childhood.
holy shit, I've got a hitman in my lounge room talking about killing a cop. And my kids need to go to daycare and there's still blood on the roof.
Interesting childhood, swingers.
Yeah.
So-
And then Dad tried to take the Victorian police to court for defamation. And
That would have gone down well.
the judge said, you don't have a reputation to defame, you're an asshole, basically, get out of my courtroom.
Yeah, right.
And Dad brought that charge. He's a very funny man. He's funny and he's charismatic. He had a lot of girlfriends.
Man.
He had a lot of
Good
women,
luck to him.
a lot of party life.
Yep.
And people loved him. He was loved. And he become heavily addicted,
Yep.
paranoid, crazy, psychopath.
Yep.
Tried to kill my mum several times. I'm like, Dad, don't do that. And he's like, you really don't want me to kill her? I'm like, no, don't kill her. She would
please
ring my
don't.
grandmother in the middle of the night and say, bring her home, bring her home. My grandmother would say, no, why? What's going on? He won't kill me if she's here. And she'd go, well, I'm definitely not bringing her home. Hurry up and die. I'm not hanging the phone up. My grandmother's like, I'm over these two. You can imagine.
Yeah.
And then my grandmother married a new man, and he was 20 years younger than her. My dad hated him because he was about the same age as him. My grandmother said, don't you come to my house and be mean to him. So he kidnapped his brother.
As you do, yeah.
You told me not to go near him. You didn't tell me anything about the family.
I tell you, your Dad's a pretty serious fella there. Don't piddle on his boots, that's for sure.
He was, he was funny. Yeah. He's a good man, though.
Yeah,
We've
mate, I don't.
We've got a lot of
doubt it at all.
bonding over shooting things.
Yep. Well, there you go. Look, it's a bloody interesting story, Blondie, and we appreciate that today. I think we're going to have to sort of wrap it up. We wanted to finish on just a touch of that, mate. And
I just want to say
please,
something. One last thing.
Spill it. Throw it out.
So
we might have to have you back at some point, I think, for a part 2.
I'm not catching that taxi back.
All the people we have on have part 10 and 20 in them, really. And we've done a lot of part 2s, 3s. Graham Henry, we've done part 4.
Yeah.
So that's definitely on the cards.
Yeah,
I've got a lot
100%.
to get done before Christmas, but that's definitely on the cards, mate.
So
but,
the daughter who was born in jail
Yep.
is a very well-adjusted young lady.
How old now?
She's 6.
Yep.
She is very confident, strong,
She sounds a bit like Mum so far.
Yeah. She won't get caught. No jokes. no. She knows who she is, and I just want to say that because I don't want anyone to take a negativity from
Look in there and tell us
baby
swingers.
being born in jail.
Yeah.
It was probably the best environment for women. As far as the unity goes and as far as raising a child, it would have to have been the best experience in the worst environment.
Yep.
And I think she benefited from that so much. And I think that if the Australian government, corrective services, whoever the fuck makes the decisions, they should allow it more often. It actually creates a better bond in that situation for a mother.
Yeah.
Outside world, non-existent. It is you and that baby, and that's all you've got. And you are not accountable.
Yep.
You're accountable to 1,200 women who are watching you,
That's it.
saying, I wanted my kid. You fucking touch that kid. If that kid is not fucking looked after... I heard her cry one too many times. What's going on?
Yeah.
You know, and I think that kind of experience definitely changed my whole parenting.
Yeah. And I mean, if there's no threat, why not? You know, why not have that experience if they're no threat? Your daughter too has a bloody interesting story for life.
Do you
know what I mean? It's
every official visited her as she was growing up in there for that first 12 months.
Yep.
And
where were you born?
They would come in and they'd go, "Where's the baby? Where's the baby?" Like she was a
She would have been like a little rock star. Yeah, yeah.
And she would look up and I swear to you, she's 6 months old, and she'd look up and
yeah.
But she'd smile at the right ones.
Yeah.
Not the screws, the politicians.
What month was she born?
January.
January, yeah.
January
She'd be smart. Yeah.
She is super smart. I have 2 unbroken ponies now on my farm.
Yeah.
Because I'm a retired farmer now.
Yeah.
Goat farmer.
I've seen a few of your pics.
Yes. I deal grass.
Pony. Goats.
Hay, that is, by the way.
Goats.
Goats and mini horses.
You got chooks.
Got a Jersey cow on its way. Got chooks.
Oh, Jersey cow. Yeah.
Yep, we've got 10 acres.
That's creamy milk, mate. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I don't even know yet. I'll let you know. I'm doing all this for the first time. I've never done farming before, ever. This is all for the first time. This is just me and the kids.
You got a money pit, swimming pool?
No, I've got a hay dealership now. So I am now a grass dealer.
But yay. Legal grass dealer, we might add. Yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, I've been doing a bit of that kind of stuff and everything else. And turns out, working and being legit is actually a bit soul-searching too.
Good on you.
Yeah.
Fuck no, look, Bonnie, I bloody enjoyed today. Don't you think, Mark? It's been fantastic. I really appreciate talking to you and coming down from the sunshine. Although it's been a bloody heat wave here too in Sydney. She's got an amazing story, Swingers. And dare I say, like I say with everyone else, I think we'll have to go a part 2. I really appreciate you coming. Anything you want to finish off with to your friends or anything like that, Blondie? No, all good. Well, I have to say something. I'd like to send out a cheerio to a fellow named Brendan, who's a good supporter of our show. We need all we can get, and he's been really good. He's been very supportive and liking and subscribing. Appreciate it, Brendan, and John Kellick as well. Lovely man. He's helped us a lot. Graham Henry, all these people that have helped us a lot. We're slowly getting to the halfway mark. We're a bit over 2 years. Like and subscribe. You didn't have to remind me, Marcus. Like and subscribe, please. Our special guest from Queensland today, and she's legal grass now.
I'm a legal grass dealer these days.
Legal grass, great bloody story, and as I said, we might have her on down the track. We've got a bit of a list at the moment. Really appreciate it. Take care, Swingers. We'll talk to you real soon. Thank you, Blondie. Bye.